all targeting your psyche, your mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they spend this money because they want to make this money,
Yeah.
all right? So that's why I say the Bible's saying that you fight not against flesh and blood. You're not fighting against things that you can see. You're fighting against things, principalities, dark places, these things that you don't even recognize, right? That you're not even comprehending.
So how do you fight against those things that have you feeling overwhelmed when you start to feel those emotions? Like, what are some steps that you can take as being a human? Because like I said, we are human. We do fight against things that we feel like we're not good at or not good enough at, or we
Right.
feel like we should be in places and doing things at a certain age. Like how we as people fight against those things.
And you got to recognize, and this is the battle that I'm currently in my own mind. I was talking to a friend about that the other day about being somewhere and you know that you have a talent and a gift, all
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or you feel it, and
Hi, Tracy.
or you want to develop that talent or gift, but what you're doing is counter opposite of that. So like, I'm working this job right now that is completely opposed to where I feel like I'm called to be, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to like literal warfare every day between my mind and where I currently am, right?
And where you think you should
And
be.
where I think I should be.
Yeah.
But the number one thing that I keep thinking about is that the Word of God says that, um, man, I can't remember the verse right now off the top of my head, but it's something to the effect of acknowledge God in all your ways, and He will direct your path, right?
Yeah.
Lean not onto your own understanding, but acknowledge God, and He will direct your path, right?
So
So,
how do we make that a part of our lives? Even though we know the word of God, and then we go through these mental battles of, fighting against where we think we should be, and looking at reality, looking at like where we at. Like we understand the word of God.
all right.
Like for a person that that struggle with this daily, what are some steps like from your experience and what you
Struggling with
deal with every day? What are some steps that you
struggling with it daily. I'm still trying to figure it out, but to
and
be
that's
honest with
real, right?
you, I'm being just honest. Like every day is a battle. As soon as I wake up, I don't want to go, and I'm
Yeah.
like, but the thing I keep trying to remind myself again, acknowledge God in all your ways, and He will direct your path. So I'm acknowledging Him by reading His Word. I'm acknowledging Him by trusting Him,
Hmm.
and I'm acknowledging Him so that He can guide me. I guess the number one thing I can think about is every time that I would pull out of something while I was in it because I felt an emotion to leave it,
Yeah.
I would pull out of it
You, for instance, we're
and I
talking
would
about
look at,
jobs. We'll
yeah,
pull away from it.
I pull away from leave a job, and go find another one or whatever. And at least a couple of them, I saw that they literally like bumped the pay or something changed like a week after I left or something, right? Like, dang, if I would have hung in there,
And
you
say the
know,
course.
stayed the course, I wouldn't be jobless right now searching for a job. And these people are getting paid. I think like one job was like, it was paying double what, like literally that next week.
But I think it comes to we
But,
we move out of our emotions
right,
instead of going to God
we,
first in
we
all
move,
situations.
yeah, we do. I keep telling you, we're human and we're emotional sometimes. And we run to that emotion. God is, He's not far removed from emotion, but He's so structural. Like he's everything He does is like a path and a plan. Everything He does has structure to it. He creates covenants and He sticks to His word. Like His word never returns to Him void. Um, and so God is always developing things in you. So you may be in a place where you feel like, dang, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, like I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm in that space right now, working a job that feels counter opposite,
Of what you
feels
feel like you called to do.
of what I'm called to do.
But
But I'm continually reminded about so many things, and one of them is the story of David, who became one of the greatest kings in the Bible. And in the beginning, David was nobody to a lot, to a lot of people, to even his own father, right?
Yeah.
When the priest came looking for the guy that he needed to be the next king, this dude's daddy brought all his other brothers and forgot about him. All right, that's just one aspect of David's story. David's the most powerful story because that's just one part of it, right? There's supposed to be a king. God comes looking for the king. Of course, the father is like, here, I'm bringing my strongest, most beautiful son, my most handsome son. He bringing all these people. And the priest is like, it ain't him. It's not him. It ain't him. And then the priest walks up to one. And he's like, oh, surely it's him. And God's like, nope, not him. And he's like, man, what in the world? And then he gets to the last guy, and he's like, is this all you got? These all your sons? I thought for sure. He's like, nah, I got one in the field. He's dirty, but, that's my last son. He a shepherd or whatever.
Meaning
he walks
that
in and boom, it's him. You know what I'm saying?
Meaning that the shepherd didn't have no value to his
He
daddy.
didn't have any value to his dad because he didn't
His
have
human daddy,
Yeah,
but not to his godly daddy.
right. And so that's part of the story, right? The other part is David was in the field as a shepherd doing what we would consider, what I'm doing right now, to be mundane. Right?
Come on, building you up.
Right? It's just a mundane job. It's just this thing, right? I don't know the characteristics God is building in me. I don't know what's happening in my mental state. I don't know what's being developed in my character.
Why are you working?
While I'm working.
In the uncomfortability.
I don't know if my voice is becoming louder or more stern or more confident. I don't know if
Your work ethic
my work ethic
has been developed more.
Right, doing things not for the company, but working as if I'm working for God. Like that's one of the major things I've been saying too, like putting in the work. And so when I think about David, that was just one part of the story. He got so many different things, but
I think
this other real basic part is he was a shepherd working in the field, doing what we would consider less than work. Right?
Not enough.
But in the field, working as a shepherd, he was protecting his flock. He fought a lion, he fought a bear, he fought all these different things, all these obstacles. And so when it came to the story of David versus Goliath, he was so ready. You know what I'm saying? Like
he didn't have to prepare because God was already preparing him in the field.
This big, strong giant of a man. My boy took a slingshot, took him out because he's already faced things that were more challenging. He's been preparing for this moment his entire life in a sense.
But that's the thing. I think God works like that with us still today.
Right.
Like these jobs and stuff that we're not happy at. We're not pleased. We feel like we should be doing more. We should have more. We should have more money. We should have more accolades. We should have more notability. But in the place that God has placed you, everything has a purpose. Now I have to remind myself that as an artist, like everything is part of your development stage. No matter what level you in, no matter what tier you in right now, it's developing you for something greater. Will you see that greater right in the beginning? No, you're not going to see that greater in the beginning because it's a part of your development. If God gives it to you now, if he gives it to you now, he knows that you're not going to hold that thing valuable. It's not going to be valuable to you because you didn't work for it. And that's a reminder every day. God, I'm in this place right now. I don't feel like I'm doing my best. I feel like I should be a lot farther than where I should be. But God, I'm grateful for the now because in the now, I'm able to grow. In the now, I'm able to build something up that I didn't have before. In the now, you're doing something in me for somebody else who's watching me, who may not, and I said this today, I'm alive, who may not know that they need that encouragement, that they need that blessing, that they need that thing to shake something up in them to make them get up and get out their comfortability. So when we're as believers Christ, even as artists, like my husband's a cinematographer. I can never say it, y'all. He's a cinematographer, meaning that he tells stories with his recordings, right? and was imagery. And part of that, working these jobs, we forget that the stories that we have to build for ourselves, like everything that we do is part of our story, our testimony, right? Everything is a part of that. So we're not appreciative of our now. How are we going to appreciate the future? How are we going to appreciate the thing that God is holding us accountable for when once we reach that congratulations. Once we reach that thing, that shiny thing that we think we're ready for now, we're not going to appreciate it. We're not going to value it. It's not going to hold no value because
it might not even be it that you won't appreciate it. It's
we want better.
You have the tools to hang on to the thing that you're praying for. That's the major thing you got to think about. You may think you're ready now, but if you're praying that specific prayer, God, prepare me for what it is that you're about to bless me with, just realize, like, it might not feel comfortable. You know, like in the space I'm in right now. He's building it and he's working it. He's a master storyteller, right? And he's gotta build you to hang on to the thing that you're looking for.
You're right. So, hey, girlfriends, this is another live, y'all, with my husband. We can slow it down, babe, because our time is almost up. This is a live with my husband, Dimitri. He's also on YouTube at DIMITRI, same last name. And today, I asked him to come out to walk with me because I think it's important for like these small moments to reflect on the goodness of God. Even in a walk, right? You're able to reflect on the things that we struggle with as artists, as a human, and as a believer of Christ. We forget that these part of our testimonies and a part of our struggles is something that we don't go through alone. There's also someone else that is going through the same thing, but they don't see it. They don't see the struggles of someone else because social media does not show you the struggles. They don't show you the emotional part of the battle of becoming who you want to become or becoming who God is calling you to be, right? Yep. So we have to remember that all these things is literally a part of us growing, right? Like I was telling y'all earlier that I struggle with Instagram, right? I feel like I should be at this amount of followers. But all those things are worldly gains. Like, what am I going to gain from all of these followers, right? What am I going to gain from someone telling me that they love my work or I'm doing a great job? There's nothing to gain but the acknowledgement of the world. But I have to remember, as a believer of Christ, right? As someone who says they are a full-on believer of Christ and they are a disciple for him and him alone, that I can't look for acknowledgement through the world, that I have to look through acknowledgement through him, who I call my Father, which art in heaven. And that's bigger than how the world views you, right? That's bigger than how social media views you. So in this part, of course, Jesus definitely is king. But in this conversation, we're just conversating, right? We're talking about things that we struggle with. And I think it's important as an influencer, as an educator, as an artist, to show y'all that it's deeper than what y'all see, right? It goes deeper because everybody has a struggle and everybody's struggling with something. But it depends on how you deal with that struggle, how you adapt to that struggle. What are you doing in that struggle? Are you calling on God and asking God for help? Are you calling a friend who may went through something similar and asking them how they dealt with this? Are you reaching out to people who truly cares for you? How are you reaching out? Or are you sitting in that thing alone? Are you letting your mind overtake every part of you with the negative thoughts, with the thoughts of saying that you're not enough, with the thoughts of saying that you will never succeed, with the thoughts of saying this is the best you're going to get, the bare minimum? God didn't call you to the bare minimum. God don't call us to the bare minimum. God don't want us to struggle and sit in the struggle. Every struggle and every development is a journey. And when you look at that journey, you have to remind yourself there's something that you need to take from this journey. What can you grow from this part of your journey? What is something that you can get from this journey to build yourself up and not sit in it as if it's it. That's all you deserve. You are called to be to to live a worthy life. And that worthy life is not accountable about how much fun you have in your account, right? It's not accountable about how many followers you have, or how many people tell you do a good job, or how many people congratulate you on your success. It's about reaching somebody who see themselves in you. And so with this platform, that's what we're doing. We're reaching women and men who may not see themselves the way God created them. And I'm going to keep repeating, it's beautifully and wonderfully made. That the gifts that he's giving you exceeds over your own expectation, that is for a bigger purpose. And part of that purpose is to reach one person who don't see themselves, one person who may be conflicted about who they are, one person who's sitting at their 9 to 5 hating what they do and feeling like that's all they can get. No, in a 9 to 5, figure out how you can move in God's purpose. Ask God for vision and discernment, and ask God to help develop you in that thing, right? Help to develop you in the uncomfortability of working that job. So yeah, y'all, ain't nobody preaching today. I'm just talking. Well, let me check our time, y'all. Did we do it, Pooh?
I don't know. You got the time.
We got 5 more minutes, so we're gonna take this little 5 minute and say thank y'all for chiming in. Thank y'all for chiming in. And I think it's important for us to have conversations like this, even on this platform, right? It's something different from the normal. So you don't see Gellisa doing hair right now. You don't see Gellisa making a short video right now. You see Gellisa and her husband having a conversation about things that we as believers of Christ struggle with sometimes as being influencers of the world and as being believers of Christ, right? So anything you want to close this with, Pumpkin? Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
Slow it down. I'm walking too fast.
Yeah.
Man. I feel like that's it. Like, I think the story of David is a powerful story. And if you're struggling, that's a book that you should read. I mean, even in that story, God talks about how he does it. He looks at the inward man and not the outward, which the world loves to look at the outward appearance of people. And that's what you're talking about when you were talking about, like, Instagram. Nobody's Instagram is showing you, that they're struggling half of the time. Most of the time, they're showing you the successes, or they're showing you a perfect life or whatever. It's never the, what's really going on the inside. And so, I think, man, as believers, as people, man, we should be fighting to get closer to God, to really understand what our calling is, and to really know that your gifts and all that stuff is not just for you to get materialistic things, but it's really for you to touch other people, right? To help other people, to pull somebody up. One thing that I always used to say is that your following your dream is more for other people than even yourself. That's a major one that I used to say all the time. Like, you pushing forward and following your calling is more for others than it is for you.
And I think that's the biggest thing that why God sent Jesus to die on the cross for our sins, to give us multiple chances, right, to get it right. Like, Jesus didn't sit up there and die. He didn't want to die now, but he was obedient to his Father. So we have to be like the same way. Like, we have to die towards the things that cause us to conflict against his will, right? And part of me dying to what I'm comfortable with and what I'm accustomed to is me moving away from certain things. Like, I know as an educator and influence that I can't be on certain platforms too long because it can consume me. And that I know as a Christian that I can't allow something that like that to consume me if I want to be called to what God has called me to. So even if it's for you, moving away from your phone, or strolling too much, or listen to someone who's not pouring into you, listen to someone who's unhappy with their lives. Sometimes you have to separate yourself from those people, but still love them in a way, right? Still. You too. You still love them, but you have to move away. And I'm gonna just close it with this: some things that you're dealing with in your life, sometimes you do have to move away from it, y'all. And that's being real. That's being honest. And that's just from experience. If it's not pouring into you and it's consuming so much of you, you ask God to deliver you from it and replace it with something that's going to help you, guide you, support you, love on you, right? That's going to pour into you. So with that being said,
That thing might hurt.
yeah, it's going to hurt.
It might be a person. It might be a family member. Shoot, it might be a city. You know, it might be a state.
Mm,
Somebody. That's for somebody.
it
You're
is.
supposed to get up out of there, man. So, it's going to hurt, but not in a way that's going to kill you. You know, like it may hurt. It's like almost like ripping a Band-Aid off, but it's just so that you can heal. So that's for somebody with like a family member, you know, something in there. I don't know who that's for, but it's for somebody.
With that being said, y'all, I'm going to close it with Jesus is King. And he can work the things that you feel like he can't work through. It's up to you to like allow him to get the whole 100% of it, right? Just don't give him 50. Don't give him 30. Don't say, God, I'm going to give you the percentage and I'm going to take over this because I could do this prayer and you could do this. You have to fully give up to him and sacrifice yourself. Really, sacrifice yourself. Move yourself and allow him to move. And ask God to give you peace about it. Whatever he's calling you to do, whatever he's telling you to do, have faith and know that it's going to be for your good. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable because you're not used to it. He has to develop you in it. You know, he has to build you up in it. Yes, it may be a fight. Yes, you're going to have to work a little harder than what you had before, but it's for your good. And remind yourself, as my husband says, for somebody, remind yourself, whatever is for your good is going to help build you up. It's not going to tear you down. It's going to build you up. So y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. It's your girl, Gellisa. Have a great day, girlfriends. I'm so blessed for the ones that joined this live today. And I pray that on this platform, y'all will continue to be blessed as I educate, as I teach, and as I have conversations like this with y'all. But again, y'all are a blessing to me. And thank y'all for pointing to me just as much as I'm pointing to you. And remember, you are beautiful. You are a bow, honey. And wear your hair with confidence. Bye, girlfriend.